Getting reports from all 5 boroughs. More Hydra troopers with fangs. Talk about making a bad thing worse.
I've tried tracking down what they're up to.
Find anything?
Nothing that could still speak.
I may know somebody who could help.
No offense. This isn't exactly friendly neighborhood stuff. Not sure your contacts will be much help.
He's not that friendly.
Who?
He's also not one of the bad guys.
Who exactly?
A physician of sorts. Look, do you want to figure this out or not?
Morbius. Blade.
You've met? Gotta admit, I've never seen a vampire feed on another vampire.
I felt it.
One time. I bit you one time. It wasn't fun for me either. You taste like an old barbell.
There's a cat fight joke in here somewhere, but I can't figure it out. Look, Dr. Morbius, we need your help. Someone is turning Hydra troopers into vampires. We don't know why or what they want.
According to the creature I just ate, they're after my research. I can tarry no longer. I must return to my lab before they...
You're going nowhere.
Don't have a hissy fit. It was right in front of me. Maybe we can help each other out. So, where is this lab?
You get used to the stench.
I never do.
Wait, where? You were right, Doc. We shouldn't have tarried.
All my work lost.
What kind of work, Doc? This is twisted.
Thought he was one of the good guys.
I said he was not one of the bad guys.
Knowledge has no inherent morality. This is science.
Tell it to them.
They'll be fine. Eventually.
What exactly are you doing here, Dr. Morbius?
Research. A gamma serum flows through the blood of these Hydra soldiers, augmenting their capabilities. It inspired me to concoct a prototype sample, a serum of my own. I thought it might dampen the effects of the sunlight on my abilities, but its protective qualities were far more effective than I expected.
Whoa. Are we talking...
Daywalker in a vial. Morbius, tell me it doesn't work.
Not yet. The prototype sample needs time to fully mature. But it's gone. Along with all my notes. I'll have to start over.
Looks like they're back for seconds.
Nah, they have the sample. They want to take out the only competition in town.
Then we shall dissuade them.
No further, abomination.
Okay, it's cool. Morbius is with us now.
With us?
You would bring a vampire into the Abbey?
Well, he's not a vampire. Not exactly.
If he was, he'd be dust.
He became this way because of an experiment gone wrong, not a bite from a vamp. He's his own master, right, Doc?
If I may, there are few judges of character better than Spider-Man.
Back me up here, Blade.
As much as I hate to admit it, we could probably use his help. This once.
Hunter, was it? Thank you for not making a bigger deal about my arrival. I know my presence unnerves many.
Peter and Blade vouched for you. You are lucky that I trust them more than I distrust you. Do not waste this chance.
I see. It's good to know where I stand, even if that is atop thin ice.
Help me understand what you bring to the team that I cannot get elsewhere.
I am the world's foremost authority on vampire physiology. Blade knows a great deal about vampire rituals, habits, and social order, but he doesn't understand their biology.
Why should that matter?
In a sense, you could say Blade can take a vampire apart, but he can't put one back together.
I do not want to put vampires back together.
Of course not. Let me put it like this. If you understand the structure of an organism, you'll know its weak points, where to push so it falls apart. This is what I offer you.
That sounds great, but you must earn our trust by following through on that promise.
I see you are not easily impressed. No wonder Blade seems to like you. I think you'll be happy to know that I've actually already started researching vampire biology.
That sounds like good news.
Unfortunately, I also have bad news. I've been tinkering with a prototype gamma serum that suppresses the effects of sunlight on vampiric membranes. The vampires have taken that from me.
Then we must take it back.
That is why I'm here. And I would love to get back to that research. Unless you have further need of me.
I want to know a little more about you first.
Naturally. I am an open book.
I have heard you called a living vampire. What does that mean?
It means that unlike most vampires, I have a pulse.
How is this possible?
Most vampires are tied to the supernatural realm. They are undead creatures. My gifts are a boon of science. I am wholly unique in that way. Quite literally a freak of nature.
Who were you before you became a vampire?
I was born with a rare, degenerative blood condition. My disease would have proven fatal if I had not taken matters into my own hands and experimented on my body using vampire bat DNA. I cured myself, but there were side effects.
I would like to know more about your capabilities.
Like a traditional vampire, I possess enhanced strength, speed, and acute senses. An accelerated healing factor allows me to bounce back from otherwise mortal injuries. And while I cannot fly in the traditional sense, I have the psionic ability to glide over great distances.
Do you have to consume blood like any other vampire?
Regrettably, not only do I need to consume human blood, I crave it. But you do not need to worry. I keep my cravings in check these days, and only feed on those who prey on others.
Do you share other vampiric weaknesses?
One of the advantages of being a living vampire is that I do not have those Achilles heels. I could drink holy water all day, and a silver bullet stings like a lead one. One slight exception is daylight. I do not burn under the sun, but my eyes are sensitive to the light, and my powers are somewhat dampened during the daytime.
You seem to know Blade and Spider-Man well. What is your impression of them?
When I first became the living vampire, I struggled with my baser instincts. It took me a while to maintain control over my appetite. Spider-Man and Blade were the first two heroes I encountered, and they protected many innocent people from my wrath.
You mean they fought you?
Yes. But I am grateful because they encouraged me to become a better man. Though I wish Blade's approach hadn't been nearly so ferocious.
Never mind. I will let you settle in.
Happy to talk anytime.
What happens if Hydra successfully replicates Morbius's prototype sample?
Sunproof vampires seem like a bad idea for all involved.
Maybe not for the vampires.
For now, it's just a scary theory. Even if it works, there could be side effects, like new breed vampires bursting into flame upon contact with oxygen. Yeah, wishful thinking, but prototypes can be unpredictable. Just ask Hank Pym about Ultron.
What do we know about the Lord of Vampires?
Honestly, if Blade didn't vouch for it, I wouldn't believe he existed.
He certainly does.
There's so much information about Dracula that it's hard to know what's fact and fiction. I wonder if he had a hand in that.
Why are Hydra soldiers willingly turning into vampires?
Define willingly. I think that's Sin's influence.
They must be extremely devoted to agree to such a change.
Or more terrified of what Sin will do if they don't. I wonder how becoming a bloodsucker mixes with the gamma serum already in their systems. I bet that's one hell of a hangover.
Thanks, Carol.
Sure thing.
Doctor, meet the doctor. Now, the Abbey has as many PhDs as you'd find on your average golf course.
We've met. Dr. Morbius. So good to see you again.
Doctor Strange, still patrolling the spiritual realm, I see. I'd love to get set up as quickly as possible in here. Start learning the lay of the land so I can help out.
Set up your little test tubes anywhere you'd like. Just don't touch any of my stuff.
And there are several mystical artifacts in here that no one should look at directly.
Don't look and don't touch. You really know how to make a colleague feel at home.
Just remember that's only an expression. And you don't actually own any of this.
But we really are glad to have you.
I can tell.
Tony, what is your impression of Morbius?
Well, we've never actually met, but Strange talks highly of him.
I am uncomfortable inviting a vampire to live in the Abbey.
Hey, I know what you mean. Half the people on my board of directors are vampires. Not literal bloodsuckers, but they definitely try to sink their teeth into you. Or your pocketbook.
Maybe.
The guy's a freak, no doubt. But every genius is. You should have seen half my professors back at MIT. Or that Tony Stark guy who's always in the news. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've read a few of Morbius's papers on DNA manipulation, and it's years ahead of anyone else. He could be a valuable asset.
So, you think we can trust him?
Well, I never said that. But he could be useful.
Stephen, have you worked with Morbius before?
Oh, yes. He is a formidable ally. He once assisted me in a battle against a Fear Lord from the Dream Dimension.
Fear Lords are powerful foes.
Yes, it was a boisterous battle, so I was pleased to have Morbius at my side. Undoubtedly, he will be a favorable ally against Lilith as well.
So you have no reservations about letting him stay in the Abbey?
None at all. As long as he doesn't grow too hungry, we'll all be fine.
Wait, what should we do if he gets hungry?
We should all be on guard.
Stephen, I need details.
As with any vampire, he could lose control and eat every one of us, but I do not think that will happen.
Checking in on me already, Hunter? I haven't had time to get into trouble.
You can never be sure.
I suppose.
Sorry we didn't give you a heads up before. You know, about bringing a vampire into the Abbey. It all happened kind of fast.
Are you sure we can trust Morbius?
Yeah. Morbius has his demons, but he's a teddy bear. A snarly teddy bear. With fangs. But there's stuffing in there, somewhere.
This is not helping your argument.
What I'm trying to say is that Morbius has a good heart. And exceptionally good blood.
Good blood?
Yeah. Whatever Morbius did to transform his body infused the heme in his blood with curative properties. I'd love to help him study it further, if I ever have the time. Since we're fighting new breed vampires, we'd do well to have a living vampire in our corner.
Blade, are you actually comfortable with Morbius living here?
Comfortable? I'll never be comfortable around that monster. But if I'm being generous, he could be useful.
If this was a mistake, let me know. We will do whatever you think is best.
Hey, I don't want that responsibility. If this goes south, I'm not taking the blame.
What exactly is your history with Morbius?
I don't like getting into that.
But the two of you have fought before. What makes you think we can trust him now?
I never said we could trust him. If that man loses control to his bloodthirst, I'll end him myself. But the vampires are using his experiments against us. We need him to clean up his own mess.
So Morbius is just a tool to you?
Call it whatever you want. I call it practical.
Now that the Hydra vampires have my prototype sample, I've no doubt they'll attempt to create their own sunlight serum.
Mass produce it, more like.
But where would Hydra vampires go to mass-produce sunlight serum?
Somewhere familiar to them.
How about a Hydra facility that makes the gamma goop they put in their blood?
Yes, I'm going to go with exactly like that.
How about one sending a distress signal about a vampire invasion? Might be a good place to start.
Has Hydra turned upon itself?
No, this is biology. It is a vampire's nature to betray the living.
Excuse me?
Oh, but not mine. I differ on a biological level.
Relax. It was a joke.
Sin. I should have known you were behind this.
Hold them off. We need more time. Go. Feed upon them. Let their veins bleed rivers.
Prototype. It's here. We must recover it.
One more batch. Secure it. Quickly now.
I'll take that.
Your prototype sample?
Indeed. And now to destroy the sunlight serum. But it's not all here, is it?
Of course not. We manufactured so much. All transported off-site before you even arrived. This is the final batch. A reserve. I am a wolf in the night. The yapping of a mangy cur does not concern me.
Tell me where you brought the serum.
Watch that temper, little mutt. You don't want to lash out and bite the ones you love.
Tell me!
Where else, you pathetic counterfeit? I delivered it to the Lord of Vampires.
You don't know what you've done.
Oh, but I do. Dracula, my master, has enough sunlight serum to supply an army. And there's nothing you can do to stop him.
I came out here to be alone, Hunter.
Are you sure being alone is a good idea right now?
Blade sent you to check on me, didn't he? probably didn't want to come himself because he thought we'd just end up fighting.
Is he wrong?
Of course not. And I can't promise we won't end up trading blows before the night is through, either.
Maybe a good sparring session will help you blow off steam.
No, I do not actually want to fight you. But I am grateful for your company.
Do you want to talk about what happened today?
They stole my work, Hunter. They perverted it for their own designs. There is an army of vampires ready to cut loose on the world, and they are all immune to sunlight. I did that, not Dracula.
You could not have known that Dracula would get his hands on your sample.
No. But I should have foreseen that he'd want it, that he would come for it.
We will fix this, together.
You're right. Wallowing in self-pity will accomplish nothing. We must prepare to act. Oh, and Hunter, I'm sorry. My behavior tonight was beyond the pale. I wish you had not seen me like this.
Doctor, my mother turned against me and started building an army. I understand betrayal. You have no need to apologize.
You are too kind. I really am glad you came. Instead of Blade, well, I would love a few quiet moments to meditate on what we've said. Unless you need something else.
Enjoy the quiet.
I'll just be here, brooding.
You have more experience with Morbius than I. I assumed you already had emergency protocols in place.
I do. I'm asking for your help to make them better.
Blade, the Abbey grounds are already littered in protective runes and incantations designed to protect us from any kind of danger. Moreover, we should give Morbius the benefit of the doubt. He needs our support, not our suspicion.
Ignore this if you want, but I'm gonna sleep with a wooden stake under my pillow.
I thought you already did that.
Yeah, and it's because of monsters like Morbius. How did it go with Morbius? Is he slipping?
Relax, Blade.
That man is a walking bomb. Maybe the fuse isn't lit, but I don't want to be caught holding him when he explodes.
I know Morbius is dangerous, but he is hurting and scared. He needs a place where he can feel at home.
It sounds like you're talking about a wounded animal. Just remember that Morbius isn't a stray cat you can befriend with a saucer of milk.
I am surprised, Blade. You and Morbius are not that different. I thought you knew the darkness with which he wrestles. I thought you would empathize with him.
I do know that darkness. That's why I'm worried. Morbius can't kill the monster inside. He can only continue to build a cage around it. He didn't ask for this curse, and he wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Are you still talking about Morbius?
Just watch your back, Hunter.
Hunter, I heard that you went to talk to Morbius. If it helps, I know of an infused herbal tea renowned for its calming effects.
I do not think that will be necessary, Stephen.
I must admit, Morbius is an anomaly. He's no longer human, but he isn't like other vampires. He struggles to find a place he belongs.
We are all on a journey to find belonging. In that sense, Morbius is not alone.
Very perceptive, Hunter. Though I wonder if Morbius would find it comforting.
You know, it sounds like you care about Morbius.
I recognize something inside of him. Our ambitions are similar. We were both obsessed with our work, with our goals. That drive eventually led to his downfall, as did mine.
Yet, you are both very different men.
But the need for spiritual recuperation affects us both. Do not be surprised that Morbius loses control. That is his crucible. He must overcome it to make peace with himself.
Howdy, partner. What's crackin'?
You seem quite brisk today.
Why shouldn't I be? Got a full 8 last night, just started a new supplement, and I've got a renewed outlook on my future.
Can I try your supplement?
Sure, but Gutsplosion Choco-loaded peanut butter protein powder is calorically dense, so limit your intake to your 2-hour workout days. Now, I'd offer to spot you right now, but I'm chasing down a story.
A story?
I had this revelation. You know I'm a trained journalist. I get a thrill when I break open a big corporate conspiracy or report on a public good.
So you want to do more reporting?
Yeah. We've been so busy fighting Lilin and vampires with a Y that I haven't had time. I'm feeling this itch in the back of my head telling me to get out there and dig up some dirt.
You have my blessing.
Ah, good. Because I've already started. I want to look into Dracula's history with the new breed vampires. What was his grand plan? How did he get into a feud with Mephisto? And is it true that a secret cabal of vampires controls the internet?
That all sounds interesting.
Probably shouldn't say anything more at this point. You never know who could be listening.
In the Abbey? No one can spy on us here.
Exactly. Wink, wink. Let's keep this between us, okay?
So, Eddie, I overheard what you said about the Dracula investigation.
Ah, crap. You're the last person I wanted to hear that. Look, I'm sure you think it's a bad idea, but...
No. Do you maybe, I don't know, need another set of hands on this?
You want to help me?
Yeah, just like old times.
The old times where you got me fired from my dream job?
Okay, like new times. You know what I can do. Tell me how I can pitch in.
What if you're a double agent working for the vampires?
Come on, Eddie. You know me. I'm barely a single agent. Definitely single. Sort of. It's complicated.
The symbiote says you aren't lying. So, I guess we can give it a try. As long as you do what I say.
Sure thing. You know, I think this could actually be fun.
Really? For who? Nico said she wanted to watch a movie tonight.
Yes, but she says that every day.
Can I make a confession? I've been so obsessed with my work, I haven't had time for movies. I don't think I understand them.
What do you mean?
They don't make sense. Vampires are always portrayed as flamboyant, blood-obsessed shut-ins.
I have enjoyed learning many things about the 21st century through film. I especially love a good training montage.
Yes. I must admit, I love a good fashion makeover.
Getting word of another attack. Vampires in Central Park. Right before dawn. Can you imagine?
Dawn?
I knew this was coming. Just not so soon.
The city is in enough chaos.
We'll handle it. No problem.
Ah, Blade. Ever the optimist, hmm? Look at them. The sun will be up any minute now. They don't seem to care.
Then let's make them care.
They do not fear the sun.
I'll give them something to fear.
No.
Allow me!
Lost children, you disappoint us, betray us, shed the blood of your own.
No one hurts you more than family.
Join us in the light. We won't ask again.
You won't. But not for the reason you think.
I don't understand. Why aren't you?
To mass produce the serum, you diluted my sample. Yes, it protected you from the sunlight, but each use of your powers burned more of it away. You are, as they say, running on fumes. And when those expire, so do you.
This isn't over.
It is, for now. Unless you'd care to stay for a walk in the park.
Back to the sewer, where he belongs.
Are you disappointed we didn't destroy him?
Nah, he always comes back. But knowing he's got to live with that humiliation almost makes it worth knowing you.